Hey guys, Breadman117, welcome back to the channel and a long overdue haul video. It's going to be a long one and this is only going to be part one. We're going to go through all of these boxes that you see on the screen in front of you now, take a look at what's inside and then see what I've managed to complete from these hauls. Everything you see was purchased from eBay UK regardless of the box it comes in, and this isn't something I just went out and bought recently. This is stuff I've purchased on and off since the beginning of 2025. So with that said, let's get into the first box and see what we've got. Okay, so after me saying everything came from eBay, I'm wrong. This box actually came from a local charity shop, which is very rare. You very rarely see Mega Bloks where I live in charity shops. My friend's a Lego collector. He saw this while he was scouting for Lego, phoned me and said, did I want it? Asked him how much it was and he said £6. I hadn't seen it. He just said it's a purple gun and a green warthog. So I said yes, and this is what he turned up with. I couldn't believe it. A rocket hog versus AA gun and a prowler for £6. This is how it came. Dust free, partially built, and most impressively, as you can see, the AA gun has the stickers on it. I've got 3 or 4 of these already, but none of them have stickers, and I don't have one new in box, so it was amazing to get one with stickers on. So big shout out for Tim for picking up this lot for me. Good man. This next box is a bit of an interesting one. It could be best described as a lucky dip. The description on eBay was Halo Mega Bloks job lot. Send offers. So I did, and they accepted an offer which I felt was quite reasonable. The main reason I wanted this lot was because it had a short sword in it. Now I could see by the single image that they put on the eBay listing that there were unopened packets of short sword in there, but there was no promise made that it was a complete set, how much of it was there or anything. I could also see in the background of the picture a sticker sheet which looked unused, and that was the main reason for this. I currently didn't have a short sword on display in my studio. I wanted one, so I figured hopefully this will be a complete set, and if nothing else I'll have a brand new sticker sheet to dress up this short sword for the display. As you can see, there's a load of random other stuff in there. It's clearly come with EVA's last stand or part of an EVA's last stand. Lots of old articulation figures. They always tend to be old articulation figures when you're buying from eBay UK, because it's when they moved over to the new articulation that Mega pulled out of the UK. So it's so much rarer to find new articulation figures in eBay hauls. And if you do, they tend to be a lot more expensive. That said, I'm just as fond as the old articulation as I am with the new stuff. So as you can see, there's the canopy for the short sword still in its packet. There's a Banshee come out there. This looks like either an original warthog or maybe a troop hog. And again, this could be all there is. You won't know until you go through it. But I actually find these hauls more interesting than the guaranteed ones sometimes, especially when you haven't paid a lot for them. I just find it really fun to see what you can complete. And if you can't complete them, but you could almost complete them, I've usually got enough parts to complete them. And then I take a hog or whatever the vehicle is from a incompleted state, which would potentially remain incompleted for the rest of existence, to another completed example of the vehicle. And this is what I was talking about. Unopened bags of short sword. Also some instructions. Some of the Halo cards that come in the box, which seem to come with nearly every single haul. I feel like I'm going to end up with hundreds of those cards. And then this is what I really wanted, the unused sticker sheet. And it looks like it's pretty much all there, which is absolutely fantastic. A few more figures and then we're pretty much getting to the bottom of the box and just more and more of these bags. I've got no idea whether all the bags are there for the short sword, because obviously back in this day or the short sword day, they didn't number the bags. So unless you know, I've never opened one brand new in box. All of the short swords that I've collected over the years have just come in hauls from years ago. And I use the parts from most of them to create the ultimate AA gun, which is why I don't have a complete one on display, which is why I was really pleased to get this haul for a good price. Now, this was an interesting purchase. I believe I got this item for a lot less than going rate. Still cost a bit, but it was a lot less than you'd usually see. And it's not what I'm showing you here. What you see here is a broadsword in a bag. I didn't order this, I didn't pay for this, it wasn't on the listing. It just turned up in the bag, which I thought was a great bonus, and we'll see later on in the video how complete that broadsword actually is. What I bid for was this, a guaranteed 100% complete mammoth in mint condition. I say 100%, he did clarify that Lasky's head was missing, and it showed it in a picture. He put a Halo Wars Marine head on there, which is fine, I can deal with that. Now in the images the mammoth was fully built and it did look in good condition. It had all the stickers there, which is one of the reasons I wanted this, but look at the effort this seller went to strip and package this. He's organized all of the bricks and they are in absolutely brand new condition. There is no sign of any dust on them whatsoever. And compared to the other mammoth I got, the first one I ever got and built, which was covered in dust, missing all sorts of pieces and missing some of the figures, which I didn't actually pay much less for than this one. This was an absolute dream, which I was really looking forward to putting together. And as you can see, he also threw in a bag of random figures too. So this seller, what an absolute legend. He definitely got 5-star feedback from me. Moving on from something mammoth to something somewhat more modest, we have an NMPD Hornet. I feel I paid a pretty good price for this one, considering anything NMPD goes for such a premium these days. I am a huge fan of the line, so whenever I see an opportunity, I do try to expand it. As you can see, it came with the box, the instructions, and the bags have never been opened, with a complete brand new sticker sheet, which is rare. Usually they come used. The reason it was a better than average price was simply because it did advertise it doesn't come with the 2 figures. I can live with that. The Hornet is a great build and I'm happy with it as it is without figures. This next item I definitely paid more for than I would have liked to, but sometimes you've just got to do that. I've been looking for them for ages and they were always expensive. This is pretty much what they go for. So if I wanted one, I was just going to have to pay for it. And as you can see, probably even within the bags, it's the Red Hornet Attack set. Now, I've never owned one before. I don't have one on display, and that's why I wanted one to add to the Red Series and Blue Series display. It's the final piece that I'm missing from that display. Now, there's 2 reasons I purchased this particular item. One is because it was almost 100% complete with both the Hornet and the tower that it comes with. It also came with all the figures, but it was missing, or it was listed as missing, the shield. The Jackal shield on this set is red. It's unique to this set, and it wasn't there. It was the only piece, but I figured for the price, let's just go for it. The other reason is that it came with a brand new unused sticker sheet, which again is not so common. Getting them with stickers that are peeling wasn't really what I was looking for. I don't want to pay a lot of money for that. I want one that's going to look brand new on display when I add it to the other vehicles. The other benefit of this is it did come with the figures, all of the figures apart from that Jackal shield. So it came with everything. It was only missing that one part. But also as a bonus, this seller also had listed, would you believe it, a Captain Lasky from the Mammoth. Just randomly, a Captain Lasky from the Mammoth. And he only wanted, I think it was something like, I don't know, I don't even think I paid £5 for it. So that was another reason to get this particular Hornet, because I got the Lasky as well from the same seller, which saved on postage, and that now completes that Mammoth build. Hopefully, we'll see shortly. Now this next set is something that's very special to me. It's something I've wanted for a very long time. At some point I thought I'm just never going to get one. They rarely come up for sale. When they do, they're astronomically expensive to the point that I will not pay that kind of money. Thankfully this one came up for a price I was prepared to pay, but more importantly it came 100% complete in really good condition with all the stickers, the figures and the box. I really wanted one in the box with the instructions because I wanted that whole experience. I've never seen them on shelves. Mega was never sold where I live, so I've never seen any boxes sold on shelf. So I wanted that in-box experience, so you could get the full experience, see the pictures on the front of the box. As you can see, it's the ODST Invasion set. They're so rare. It's a Toys R Us exclusive. I don't know if that's why they're so rare. I also don't know whether they were sold widely in America or whether it was mainly in the UK or both, or whether it was purely Toys R Us in the UK and America. Either way, you don't see them very often over here. It's not uncommon to have to pay more than what I did just for the 2 vehicles, even whether they're complete or not. So to get one this complete with the box, so well looked after. The seller was fantastic as well. He didn't ship to my address, but he agreed to. He shipped for a great price, and he said he'll make sure he wraps it well and everything, and he did. You could see the packaging. He packaged it really well. So for me, this is a big day. I don't have any of these in my collection, and I've waited this long. When you think how much stuff I've got, I've had to wait this long to get one for a price I'm happy to pay for. And it just goes to show it's worth being patient in this hobby, and eventually good things will come your way. The other reason I wanted it is because I wanted to finish the collection. As you can see on display, I've got the ODST Hawk, and then I've also got the Covert Ops Wolverine, and then next to that I've got the Flood Hunters Falcon. I love the Mega Bloks colour of these sets. It's fantastic. I wish they'd done more over the years. So really looking forward to adding the ODST Invasion to these other sets on display. So this is the final box for this video that I'm going to unpack, and it's by far the biggest gamble. It's another lucky dip box. It was a huge haul, advertisers Halo UNSC Mega Bloks bundle vehicles and random parts, and in the description it said unlikely to be complete but not being checked. So the picture was of an elephant, and there was also obvious signs of warthogs and various other vehicles in there, enough that made me want to put some money down for this purchase, mainly because there was a number of vehicles in here that I either don't have an opened version of, or I only have one opened version of and no others available. So if ever I want to for something that I'm doing, like a big diorama, I want a second. So one of them was this elephant. As you can see, the second generation elephant that they produced, and I only have one and no new inbox version or anything. So I've been wanting a second one for the longest of time, but anyone that tries to collect this stuff will know those elephants do not go cheap. They're once again something that doesn't come up for sale all that often, and when it does, they're quite often incomplete or missing figures or missing stickers, and they still go for relatively big money. And the issue with elephants and other, shall we say, more obscure vehicles that aren't as common, especially this side of the pond in the UK, if there are pieces missing, unlike easy stuff like prowlers and certain warthogs and things, I'm more than likely going to have spare parts for to be able to complete it. But there's a lot of unique parts on the elephant and various other vehicles in this haul, so if the parts aren't there, I'm going to fall short. So it'd be interesting to see later on in the video how much I managed to complete, and actually whether it was worth spending out on this haul or not. So this warthog, for example, I don't have a single one open in my collection. As you can see here, it's really dusty and grimy. Everything here, you could see by the pictures, was dusty and grimy, and coming back to the pictures, it was just basically pictures of wreckage. It looked like a wrecking yard of Mega Bloks, so it was really difficult to know for sure what was in here. You saw me pull out a bag of figures before. The original listing didn't actually advertise any figures. I went back to the seller and said I'd be willing to make this offer if you can find some of the figures, and that's the bag of figures. They then went back and said, here's the figures, make the offer. So I did, and having the figures definitely made me feel better about the offer, because there's some figures in there for sets that I have the sets for, but I don't have the figures for. So it's going to complete some of the sets I've got on display that are currently missing figures. So that in itself was a worthwhile purchase, getting those figures. As you can see, we've got the Kodiak Siege Cannon. That's another vehicle that I only have one of, but I don't have the figures for it. Thankfully, the seller was able to find all three of the figures for that set, so I now have a complete vehicle and figure set on display for that, and hopefully maybe even a second complete Kodiak, but we'll have to hold on for later in the video. I'm going to show you everything that I've shown you so far put together to see how much I managed to complete. This is another vehicle that I don't have a fully complete version of, because I've just never had one come my way and never bought one brand new in the box. So I don't own a brand new box version, and I don't have a completed open version. Hopefully the parts there, if not complete, I'll be able to add to the incomplete one I already have to make a complete version of that dual mode Warthog. All the rest of the parts pulling out, we're starting to get to all little bits. Obviously those are rockets from the dual mode Warthog. That part there, all of that section is a bit that I don't currently have for the part built one that I have, that I've been waiting for another one to come along to hopefully be able to build a complete one. So this was the main part of the purchase. The elephant, as you can see, a huge part of it is actually built and put together. It's all going to need to be stripped down. All of the stuff that you've seen, unless it's come out absolutely mint, stuff like this, I will completely strip this down. All the sticker parts I'll put to the side and I'll wash them by hand, and every other part will go through the washing machine to get rid of all that dust and grime and bacteria. I don't want anybody's dust in my collection. So there's a lot of work to do to restore these and rebuild them, and that's before I even know if they're complete. But regardless of whether they're complete or not, if they're not and I end up using some of these sets purely for parts, I don't want dusty, horrible, grimy parts going into my parts collection. So when I'm building something, I've just got yuck. I want everything to be like new when I build custom builds. So it all goes through the wash anyway. This bag, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, or this video will go on forever, but as you can see, it's just filled with all sorts of random stuff. Base plates, these were actually a bonus because I own none of this generation of drop pods. So again, I didn't see these in the images, so that was a pleasant surprise to see this one, and I think there's a second one in there as well. So whether they're complete or not, we'll see later on. There we go, there's the other version. I think there was 4 of these in total. I don't even know what these are, and I don't know if the figures will be there for these. I'll have to look it up, see what I can find. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave this box here. I'm going to get all of this washed up, and then I'm going to build as much as I can, and then we'll see what I've managed to complete in 3, 2, 1, go. Just look at it. Such a great set. Who doesn't love the Rocket Hog versus AA gun? Such a classic set. Really old, but still so good on camera. And having it with all the stickers on, they make a huge difference. I do have some with some of the stickers on, but not all of them. And those ones that I'm missing really do make a difference. It's the ones down the side of the gun, the small ones, and the one on the front of the gun on the curved bit I was missing. So really pleased to have that complete. What you see is currently 100% complete. It was missing a few of the silver gridded tile pieces on the base, probably 2 or 3, so I added those from my collection. The actual Rocket Hog itself, no stickers on the Rocket Hog, but it does have the stickers for the actual rocket pods on the actual back of the Warthog, which I'm really pleased about, because the stickers for the Rocket Hog are easier to come by than the actual rocket pod stickers. Obviously they're unique to the rocket pod, so really pleased to get those. I can always add some stickers from another version of this hog, like the Blue series has the same stickers, so I can always use some of those if I have some spare at some point. Even came with the 3 little Covenant crates that you get with the set. It didn't come with any figures, but I'm not overly worried about that. I do have multiples of the figures for this set. So all in all, for £6, what an absolute bargain. This one wasn't actually washed and cleaned. What you see now is as clean as it came. It was absolutely amazing. So over the moon with that purchase, and it will be added to the other AA guns, which hopefully I'll do a video featuring at some point in the future, similar to the Red versus Blue Snowbound one I did. I'd like to do something similar with these Rocket Hog sets, so keep an eye out for that. Moving on to box 2, as you can see, this was the box with the short sword, which was still brand new in its packets. Unsurprisingly, although that's not necessarily a given, it was 100% complete, but back in the day Mega Bloks were known for having missing parts. I didn't have any missing parts. It was like a brand new build experience. It was very enjoyable. Obviously I had the instructions and everything, so it was really fun, and for its age I think this is still a great build in my opinion. If you haven't built one before, I'd definitely give it a go. Don't just look at it as an old set, so it's not worth it. It's a great set and looks fantastic when it's complete, as you can see. I haven't put the stickers on yet, simply because I ran out of time and I wanted to take my time to put them on. I'm also considering trying to find a way to scan in the sticker sheets in case I ever want to create a duplicate. I'm not really sure what's involved there, but whilst I've got a brand new mint condition sticker sheet, I'd rather hold on to it as it is until I found out whether I can or can't scan them in to be able to recreate duplicates. Moving on to the other random stuff that came with the short sword that just came as rubble. As you can see, I managed to pretty much complete an EVA last stand. I say pretty much because it's a while ago that I did this and filmed it, and now I'm editing it, and I'm pretty sure this was all within that haul. As you can see, that hunter has lost an arm. It's a shame, isn't it? But aside from that, all there, obviously we've got all of the figures, even if one of them is injured. I also found the sticker sheet for this set in the haul as well, which was great. Another brand new mint condition unused sticker sheet, so I'll hold on to that one too for if I ever find a way to recreate them. Poor hunter. I mentioned earlier in the video that I wondered if there was a troop hog or an original warthog in the set. Well, as you can see, original warthog, not troop hog. I think they're very similar in builds from when you've just got the chassis, but these old original warthogs are really basic in comparison, but there's something about them. It's just that nostalgia thing again, isn't it? I get a lot of satisfaction from completing another original warthog. It's where it's all started, and to be able to have the figures as well with it is fantastic. Also got a Banshee out of it, which is good. No stickers on this one by the looks of it, so that's a shame, but we did get the pilot figure and his weapon, so another Banshee to add to the army of Banshees that I seem to end up with, because they come in pretty much every single haul I think you'll ever buy on eBay. Also managed to almost complete a Brute Prowler, which is another set you tend to see in almost every UK haul you'll pick up. It must be one of the most commonly sold sets, and personally another set which I think is underrated for its age. The printed pieces, that custom molded canopy for the front of the Prowler, also a number of other custom molded pieces like the fin on the back of the seat. I've always liked the Brute Prowler. I think it's a good build. I think it looks great on display, and it looks very accurate to the in-game asset, which I think is great for such an old vehicle. It is missing a couple of pieces. I'll let you decide whether you can see which ones those were. And these are the figures that were left over that didn't go with a set. They were just in the haul as well. So it's always nice to get extra figures, especially things like pink Hayabusas and red Spartans. But I think if I had to choose my favourite of the figures that you see on the turntable right now, I would say it's that blue Flame Marine. I do like the Flame Marines. I like the original ones, and I like the updated versions as well. And I think it's because they come with so much stuff. Look at that flamethrower piece. It's just so good. And then finally, these are the bits that were left over. Most of the Mega Bloks, there are a few Lego pieces in there, which they will be added to my Lego parts bin, and the rest of it will go into my parts collection. And that's it for box 2. And on to box 3, and the big boy, the Mega Bloks Signature Series UNSC Mammoth. What an absolute beast. No matter how many times I see this, it never fails to impress me. Putting this together was so much more enjoyable than the first one I put together. If you didn't see that video, it came disgusting. Everything had to be washed. The stickers had to be removed. I had to refurbish the stickers and stick them all back on because they were just peeling off all over the place, covered in hair and dirt and grime. This was so enjoyable. Everything was immaculate. Everything was there. It was all separated. It was probably more enjoyable than if I'd got it out of the box, because when you get out of the box without numbered bags from this era, you've got to sort all your parts first. But thankfully, the seller had done all that for me, so I could just easily go to the parts I needed. So as far as I'm aware, all the stickers are present. All the parts are present. It's actually more complete than the first one I got. As I mentioned earlier in the video, here's Lasky with his helmet on because his head's missing, but that's fine because I got that replacement Lasky in the Hornet, so he can be substituted for that Lasky. Also comes with the correct Marine. And then as for the 2 Spartans that come with it, the other mammoth that I got, the first one, only came with one of the Spartans. It came with this one here. You will notice his hand is broken. See, not the end of the world, because I think I can replace that hand, but you've got to be careful that you don't crack his arm when you're trying to replace that hand. So I'll have to decide what's worth it. This guy's the same. He's got a broken hand again. Not the end of the world for me. They're mainly going to be on display, and if I hadn't pointed it out and it was just at a glance, you probably wouldn't notice it. But I'm glad to at least have this figure, because until now I didn't have him. He's missing from the other mammoth. So at least I've got the full set of figures. It's also got the Roland inside, the light up part, that works and everything. So good result. And then we've got the bonus of the purchase, the UNSC broadsword. Not my favourite ship in lore. I think it's butt ugly, but I do enjoy the build. It's a really good build. It pretty well represents the in-game vehicle. That's ugly too. But one way or another, I got this for free. All of the stickers were there again, and it's an enjoyable build. I enjoy putting it together, so I won't use this for parts. I will keep it for display. I do have one on display, but I'd like to add another one to it. So if by chance the seller is actually watching this, thank you for throwing this in for free, and yeah, thank you for including the figures, because as well as the fact that this is a good enjoyable set to build, it does come with some really good figures. The fact that it comes with the didact, this is only one of 2 occasions we've received the didact, with this set and then with Halo Heroes. I don't have the Halo Heroes version, but in my opinion this version is just as good as the Halo Heroes version. You've also got the Cortana figure, and then the Halo 4 Master Chief as well, with the damage on his chest plate. So all 3 figures to go with this set, which was an absolute bonus, because these sets have started to go up in value as well. So certainly added more value to this purchase. And then as a final bonus, there were these additional figures, which I believe are the figures that come with the Night Up's Goreshog, which again, I'm always happy to get more Promethean figures. And then also you've got the Marine from the Jungle Cyclops. So yeah, just really pleased with this purchase. Really pleased. Next up was box 4 with the NMPD Hornet, which I didn't bother building because, as you can see, I've already got one on display, so I'll save that build for another time. Box 5 was the Hornet Attack set, which, as you can see, fully complete as expected. This was sold as a complete set, missing that red shield, unfortunately. You'll notice I haven't applied the stickers to the Hornet, which the Hornet will look a lot better once I've got the stickers on it. But once again, whilst I've got that immaculate sticker sheet, I'm just going to hold on to it to see if they can be reproduced or not. Unfortunately, the stickers are on the tower ramps, which maybe somebody could tell me. I don't know whether they are on a separate sticker sheet or whether they come on those parts in the bag. I've never built one from new before, so I don't know. Probably look it up. You guys probably know off the top of your head. So that's the Red Hornet, and that will go with the rest of the Red Series vehicles and the Blue Series vehicles, and eventually I'll add those stickers. Box 6 was the ODST Covenant Invasion, which I foolishly forgot to film when I'd completed the build, and I don't currently have the set with me here, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to just add that to a later video, maybe part 2 of this video. I'll remember to slot it in there, show you what that looks like all built up. And now it's time to find out whether box 7 was worth it or not. Let's find out. Starting off, I managed to complete one of the 2 drop pods. The green one, I think, is 100% complete. The blue one with the red, unfortunately, one of the corner pieces or edge pieces was missing. Aside from that, I think it's all there. No figures, unfortunately, but I'm still glad to have these. Maybe I'll find a partial blue one in the future and be able to complete that one too. I also found this in the set, which I managed to complete this section of the build, apart from it's missing a few of those purple plant sections. I was really pleased to get this. Although there's no Wraith in this set, this is from the Wraith Ambush set. Those mongoose parts allow you to build a complete mongoose using the all-terrain mongoose, which comes with a meal. So I'm really pleased to get another one in that tan colour, because this is the only time we've seen that generation of mongoose in that colour. So this was a real bonus. Plus you get an ammo drop pod in it, which is cool too. We've got an ODST Ambush set with no figures, and although I must have maybe 8 or 9 of these sets so far, I'm pleased to get another one. I know it's missing a few pieces, but I like the idea of combining maybe 8, 9 or even 10 of these sets to create a bigger destroyed structure. I think that in itself would make an interesting build to be able to display the figures on and around. I've also got the Micro Fleet Hornet, which I've never had one of these before. That little Hornet build was super interesting, a little bit delicate, but aside from that, I like this. I haven't got one, and I think it makes a nice, interesting little piece. The Hornet is missing a couple of pieces, and hopefully in the future I might be able to pick those up, but I'll probably keep this together anyway. Also got a Jackrabbit Blitz, which was missing one piece, which was a tiny little green piece on the side of the front fender. It's like a funny double curved piece. I don't have one of those in my parts collection, so I'll just have to wait to see if one turns up, but if I hadn't told you, you may not have noticed anyway. Not everyone's cup of tea, the Jackrabbit, but I like the idea of using them in a Halo Wars diorama, and they are very game accurate. Moving on to a partially finished all-terrain mongoose, the one I mentioned earlier, which as you can see is missing quite a few parts, but I'm not bothered in the slightest because I'll probably combine the tan parts from the broken Wraith Ambush set to create a completed tanned mongoose, which I'll then use to display with the mammoth because those colours are the same. So those tan mongoose conversions look really good displayed with your mammoth. We've also got the Gungoose, which comes with Noble 6, which I'm pretty sure is complete. And then we've got the Ghost Rush. I was disappointed that I couldn't complete this because I think I only have one completed version of this in my collection. It's missing a small angled silver tile that goes underneath the right hand wing, and it's also missing one of the guns from the front. But this particular Ghost uses a very metallic silver that you don't see in a lot of other sets, which is why I don't have those parts in my spares collection. Got a pretty much complete Revenant. I think it was 100% complete, and I've got bucket loads of these because again it's a set that seems to be in everyone's collection, so if you get a haul it's almost guaranteed to have a Revenant in it. A very incomplete EVA's Last Stand, which I'm not bothered about it being incomplete because these are great for using for parts, and it's a wrecked Warthog anyway, so if you wanted to display it like this, it'd be absolutely fine because who's to say how incomplete it should be. Then we've got a Spade, which is even more incomplete, missing a number of custom pieces, but I'm not worried again because I have other Spades from other hauls which are incomplete, which I'm pretty sure I can combine together to make a complete one. And moving on, we've got a mostly complete Warthog Resistance. It's missing that blue stick from the middle of the Forerunner structure, but I do have spares of those. I just didn't add it for the video because I wanted to show you how I actually managed to complete it without adding my own parts. So nice, easy to complete this one, and the Warthog Resistance is one of the best Warthog sets Mega have made, so it's always nice to get additional numbers of this set. And then we've got the dual mode Warthog. I managed to complete this. I was so pleased. I cannot wait to get this on display. Plus it's such a cool build. When this first came out I wasn't interested at all. I thought it looked super goofy. I just didn't get it. I wasn't into it. But once I've built it, and then you can do the two different modes with it as well, I really like it. And there's so many great pieces for custom builds, and as you can see, I even got the figures. These are some of the figures I asked for. The seller found them, and then he chucked them in for the same price as what I'd put the bid in for. So I cannot wait to get this one out on display. I think it's a really good Warthog and will display really nicely. I also managed to fully complete this Capture the Flag Warthog set, which made me very happy. This was one of the sets I was hoping I could complete. I don't currently have one out on display, so I've never built one before. So to get one with all of the figures and all of the accessories made me very happy. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to complete it, but I did manage to complete it. I think it's definitely one of the better Warthog sets, and one that I think a lot of people don't have. The only thing I would say that bothers me slightly about it is they chose to make it out of a very random white colour. I was expecting it to be similar to the NMPD colour or the old Warthog Rocket Hog colour, the Tundra white that we'd been used to for years, whereas this is just its one-off own colour, which I think is a bit of a shame because it means you're only really going to use that colour for this particular vehicle. But that aside, I'm really pleased to have it in the collection and can't wait to get it on display. We've got the Drone Outbreak set, which as you can see, unfortunately is missing the right-hand door. That's pretty much the only thing it was missing, but trouble is the door is unique to this set. I don't think they've ever used that door in anything else, certainly nothing Halo. And if they did, I've never come across it. So missing a door, but that's not the end of the world. I'm sure I'll come across one eventually, but as far as I'm concerned, I can never have too many of these trucks. It's also missing one of the uprights from the actual structure as well. A almost complete Phaeton gunship. It's missing the ball section in the front of the nose, which is annoying because, again, very custom. And it's also missing the orange fin on the right hand side of the tail. Aside from that, 100% complete, no figures, as you can see. Again, controversial. I do like this. It's a really interesting build, and if I get around to creating a large scale Promethean diorama, I'm going to want as many Phaeton gunships as I can get my hands on. And then finally, the big stuff. We've got the Kodiak siege cannon. Now, as you can see, this looks complete. It is missing 2 parts. It's missing one part from in here, just this little slope, a 1x1 plate with a little wedge on the end of it. Unfortunately, I didn't have any of those in my parts collection, frustratingly, so that will just have to go without until I come across one. And then on the back, this very specialized piece, which the actual part itself isn't that specialized. It's been around since the original Pelican, but in this dark green color with the red stripes on it, you can see it just tucked in there. It looks like it acts like tail lights. It's missing the one on the left-hand side, which was a little bit frustrating, but not the end of the world. And the other benefit to this build was, once again, he managed to find the figures and included them with the sale. So I do have 100% complete Kodiak on display, but it had no figures because it didn't come with figures. Trying to get these figures is so expensive, it's unbelievable. So which is why I've to this point not had them. So I was over the moon when he said he managed to find these figures, which, in case you didn't know, are Alice 130 from Red Team, Halo Wars and Halo Wars 2. And then we've got 2 Brute Miners in a colour scheme that until now I've never owned before. So really, really pleased to get these Brutes as well. Although in some respects very subtle and kind of boring, I do kind of like them too. So really glad to get those along with Alice. And then moving on to the final build in box 7. As you can see, it's the elephant, and it is mostly complete, but the missing parts I'll point out to you now as I turn it around. As you can see, this leg here is missing the 2 black arms. I've replaced it with a grey one, which was randomly in the box. It's also got the wrong canopy. That yellow canopy is from a gremlin. It's basically the same, but the proper elephant one doesn't have the grey painted stripes on it. So I just chucked a gremlin one on there for now because I don't actually think it looks too bad. I need to remove that hazard stripe sticker from it. On this side, I'm missing a tiny little piece here, which I'll show you when we get round to the other side. It's there on the other side, and it's just a small piece, but it wasn't in there, and I actually looked for this in my parts collection. I didn't have one, so I'm sure one will come along eventually. It's not too rare a part. Strangely, on the back, missing one of these wedge pieces, which again I didn't actually have in my parts inventory, but one will turn up eventually. And then we're missing the barrel of that gun. Also, you'll notice that most of the stickers are missing, which is a shame. I always bang on about stickers. I really do think they complete a model, especially like this. And as for the stickers that are there, they definitely need refurbishing, which I'll obviously do at a later date when I get time. In regards to figures, I've got most of the figures. As you can see, I've got Carter, which was a win because he seems complete. He does have a bit of colour distortion on his boots, which is unfortunate, a bit of sun damage. But as a figure, he's whole, so I'm pleased with that. Got all 3 of the Marines. It's the first one. Put the backpack on him, including he's got his shoulder armour and everything, which is great. I also got the Sergeant, or was he a Captain? I'm not sure. I didn't look it up. The guy with the hat. Although, as you can see, he is missing his right hand, unfortunately. I would have thought I'll have a green hand somewhere in my spares collection for my figures. And then we've got the final Marine as well, which is pretty much the same as the first Marine, just with a different skin tone, but again, missing his right hand. I think there's a little bit of sun damage on his shoulder pads as well, which again is unfortunate, but it's not too bad. Got the jetpack for Carter, which is a bonus because I don't really have many of those jetpacks in my spares collection. And then poor old June has lost his head, which is very unfortunate because obviously that's a unique piece to June. So shame we haven't got his head. And then this Marine, the final one, the Marine Medic, has lost his entire body. But again, I'm pretty sure I have spares of those figures because I think that Marine's the same as the one that comes in the 3-in-1 booster frame pack. Could be wrong, but I'll need to check. As for weapons, you can see I've got pretty much all the weapons that I needed, which was great because this set does come with an absolute stack of weapons. And that's it for box 7 and part 1 of my haul video. I will be following it up with part 2, which is going to be a similar length video. But overall for box 7, I'm relatively happy with how that turned out. It was definitely a bit of a big gamble, but I think what you see in front of you now just about covers the cost of the purchase. If you were to buy all these sets individually, none of these things go particularly cheap, especially the Elephant and the Kodiak. They generally always go for big money, and they are complete enough for me to feel that it was a worthwhile purchase. What do I do with it now? Well, all of these sets that are kind of partially finished or almost finished, what I'll do is I'll go back through my spare parts collection just to see what I do and I don't have. And then I also have previous hauls in tubs that are put away in partially completed states so that I can then open up these boxes as well. And if we use the truck, for example, there's a number of trucks in different states of completeness. I'll get all of the trucks out and see if I can then finish another 100% one. As you can see, this one's got the door, but it doesn't have the lights or the wing mirrors or anything like that. So maybe I'll use the door from that one to almost finish the one that I got in this most recent haul. But I actually really enjoy this. For me, this is a big part of the hobby that I really enjoy and just get a lot of satisfaction from completing old sets. And hopefully you enjoyed this video too in the process. As I say, there will be another one to follow up, but the next video is going to be something different. I've got a little custom I'm working on and I think you're going to like it. So stay tuned, and as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.